Hello everyone, welcome to the starter tutorial of Space Engineers. Now, I know a lot of y'all may be watching because, well, y'all need an actual starter tutorial, and I've heard from my father that every tutorial, and also some other friends of mine, that the tutorial on this game, there is none. There is somewhat of a tutorial, but it's a little tough to explain. But there's also really no good tutorials online that I have found personally. As well, I did look a bit. Now, just a warning as well. I'm no expert at the game, so this is a tutorial for beginners. I'm not going to be showing off all the expert things. I will also be giving you guys some recommendations of things that you should buy. You don't have to because it's only a recommendation. First off, for packs. So y'all can still hear me, so I'm going to go to the packs section real quick. Y'all can still hear me, y'all just can't see my screen. So real quick. So this is what I'm talking about for packs. So the purchasable expansion packs. What I would honestly recommend for everyone would be, the first one would be heavy industry. Second one would be automations. Automations first, then heavy industry, then the Apex survival. Those are the main three I would highly recommend, especially if you want to do survival, for more actual survival. It's actually like really good for survival. The automations, and they're not like that expensive, and if you're playing on PlayStation, they are on constant discount all the time, every now and again. You got a good chance of getting one. Now, so this is for beginners, so I'm actually going to teach y'all everything y'all need to know. First off, you will see the little ads, you'll see the sign up for newsletter, you'll see all the hot fixes and everything they do. The last one was 02/12/2025. Yeah, that was quite a bit ago. That's around a year ago. Oh no, wait. It's not a bit ago. That's like a few months. Yeah, no. Okay, never mind. Okay. But, so as you guys can see, new game, load game, join game, options, and character. So, I'm going to show you everything here and what they do. And also we got continue game, but that's literally just continuing your last save. I don't think I need to explain anything there. Also, you see all those weird symbols at the below my little Space Engineers waving guy. Those are all the DLCs I have purchased on this account. So you'll see that I have, those are each symbol for each one. We got automations, frostbite. I wanted to test them all out, except there's only I'm missing like a decorations pack and like another one. So I don't have those ones. I'm not really worried though, because I have all these other ones that are a lot better. Now then, I'm going to show you the character first. So this is going to take you through a kind of map-like thing where you can actually decorate your character. There's like no actual, you won't die here, there's nothing here. You can put on the tuxedo stuff, put on the soldier gear, the shock helmet. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. You can change your tools out here, like the soldier welder. It's pretty standard stuff. This is just you changing out your skin, how you look. You can even do specific coloring, like you can go female astronaut too. Male astronaut. There's even specific things you can change up there. Nothing really big here, just your character customizations, changing the colors, changing the saturation, so on and so forth. It's just this. This is all this is. Nothing special at all. Hold on, I'm gonna change everything to that. I'm going to soldier. And then press square when you're done with everything. So just square and you're done. Saved. You'll load into any world with that loadout. Now, there are a lot of things in this game that I'm going to be teaching y'all. I'm going to be teaching y'all creative. I'm going to be teaching y'all survival. I will be putting markers in the comment section for those who are coming in after the stream, so y'all can actually see what y'all want to see, not just see something. And you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're looking for. It's just you got to skip around and find out. No, I will make sure to leave that in the comment section for y'all. But in the beginning here, we're going to be talking about everything else that we need to talk about just in this main menu. So you can see every hotfix, as you can see over here. Every hotfix up to probably just a few years ago. We got, this is just the advertisements for their other packs. As you can see, I'm only missing 3. This is the newsletter. You can sign up for that if you want. I'm not telling you not to. I'm on experimental mode, so you'll be seeing some special things. I decided to turn that on. I'll show you everything, how to get it on and stuff like that too. Okay, so options. Game. Okay. So you've got the general. You've got experimental mode right here if you want to toggle this on. Just saying, I would recommend toggling it on if you want to play it if you have a friend that has experimental mode on as well. Here's building mode. Line. Okay, so this you could actually edit in-game. I'll show you how to do that in-game. But I'd actually recommend putting it on line. Plain makes it a little more complicated. Putting it on line makes it a little bit easier because you can mess up, you could just delete that row that you put down. So I would recommend leaving it on line. Here is all the languages. We got English, German, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, Chinese. I cannot read. That one is, sorry. We got showing coordinates, so this is like showing wherever you put a marker at. I'll show you how to make markers. Showing good bot hints. I'd recommend you have this on in the beginning, in case if you're not paying attention and you want to just skip through certain things, keep this on. Enable trading, so you can trade with other players in multiplayer games. GDPR, just privacy, to make sure this is checked if you want to play the game. Enable area interaction, blueprint share. Blueprint share means you can actually share blueprints, which you could disable or get blueprints from your friends. Mute broadcast controllers. Pretty much what that does is it'll turn off the chats whenever you're getting like too close to something or you get too close to something that's on a timer or something and you're getting too close. So you won't get a warning or anything from that thing you're approaching. So I would highly recommend you keep this off. And then here's cross-platform. It says PS. Okay, it does say both now. Okay, so this is for everything. I can probably actually join in some games and stuff that are on Xbox or PC, all that. And then here's the mod IO consent, so you can actually say I want to mod my games, and you can consent to it. Next is the UI. So here is show crosshair, visible on HUD, iron sight, state, toggle, or hold, select hit type, enemy, friendly, headshot, kill, or grid. You'll know what the grid is soon. I'm gonna show you what a grid is soon. The kill, it just shows you whenever you get a kill. Enemy means you're hitting everything. Anything that is hit gets put on it. Headshot means it'll only put up a marker when you get a headshot, and friendly means only whenever you shoot a friendly will it show a marker. I'd recommend having it on enemy. You can also customize the crosshair color. You can customize the transparency, the UI opacity, background opacity, and HUD background opacity. Then we got audio, so this is where you can mess with the music, sound, voice chat, push to talk. Pretty much you gotta push a button to actually speak. Microphone sensitivity, you could turn that up or down. Enable Doppler effect. Yeah, I keep that on personally for myself. Speed-based music, actually speed-based ship sounds. So the more you're, so you can leave this unchecked, but I turn it on so I know how fast I'm going. In case so I know how fast my friends are going and something like that. Use contextual music. So I would also recommend leaving this on in case you find yourself in combat. You have this to warn you you are under attack. HUD warnings. Do sounds when low oxygen. I recommend using this if you're a new player, but if you're looking for a challenge, toggle this off. In fact, toggle pretty much every one of these off if you want to have a challenge. That's just if you want to have a challenge. Don't do that though if you're brand new. That is a bad idea. You will die. Next is controls. Pretty much just standard stuff. It's most controllers. You got X-axis, and yeah, I'll teach you all the controls in the game. Doesn't really show you the actual controls here. And then we got credits, which I'm not going to pull up right now, but you know, here. It's just literally the credits going by of who made it, and that's it. Give me a moment, I'll be right back though. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry that took a minute, but don't worry, I'm back. Okay, back to the rest of the options. So we've got join game. So these are just all the servers right here. It's all made by Nitrado, I wouldn't recommend going to server maker. I'm sorry, I do not trust Nitrado that much, and they cost way too much. We've got just random games of random players. We've got favorites, history, and then we've got friends, which I don't have on at this moment, I believe. Game? Hello? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Okay, so then we've got load game, which just allows you to pick a specific server, a specific world that you want to do. You can edit them, you can do all sorts of things. I have a lot of station works and stuff like that, and I also have a bunch of survivals. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about stuff here. Red ship, home system, atmosphere test. This is gonna be something else. I'll show you all how to do atmosphere stuff as well. So don't y'all worry. Just really stupid and tough. Trust me when I say that. And we're not going to be doing that on Earth because that is a bad idea to do it on Earth. You will not like it. So then we're gonna just go ahead and start up a new game. So as you can see, you've got plenty of worlds. You've got story scenarios, PvP scenarios, original content. So these are like stuff that you could actually get done. First jump, and then you've got community content, which is you'll see what it is. Can't press back, it's gotta load, unfortunately. It takes a minute. So there's just a lot of stuff. Community content is like downloaded stuff and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do Mars planet. Now, you can just start it up, but I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend going to customize your settings, and so if you're going to be doing this in creative, you're going to want to click creative, but if you're wanting to do it in survival, you're going to want to click survival. We're going to be doing this in creative. This is so your friends can join. You can have a max of up to 8 people in your server. There is auto save every 5 minutes. Max world backup saves 6. You can actually turn that up. If you want to have mods on, you can put on mods. You can turn up the efficiency to like ×10 for assembler, refinery as well. You can have a realistic, basically be able to carry nothing, or you can have a lot of room in your backpack. Character inventory size. No, wait, that's blocked. Same with character. Grinding speed, same here, except you can only go to 5. And then same with welding speed. View distance, you could turn this up a lot, but as it says here, I would actually only recommend 20 kilometers because if you're in like these ones, you'll start freaking out at like everything. Then we've got, I'm turning these up so I can actually show you how to do things. Then we've got floating object limit, turn that up to 50. Max blocks per player, disabled. Max grid size, disabled. Would recommend keeping those disabled. Enable lightning damage. So there is weather, there is environments, there's radiation, sun radiation, there's all sorts of things. Sun rotations, there's a bunch of things. Day duration, 2 hours. Asteroid amount, normal density. Meteor activity, safe. Here, I'm gonna put on Armageddon. I love that. I never actually saw that setting. I'll put it on normal. World size unlimited. It seems like that's the only world size you got here. Sound mode, arcade, or realistic. Solar radiation intensity, disabled, light, medium, or heavy. So pretty much you're going to want to stay in the shade a bit more with this one. Or stay in a planet's surface. Or stay in a planet's atmosphere. Then you've got, you can, I would honestly recommend 100% turning off auto respawn. Turn that off immediately. Then we've got respawn ships, so you actually can get a starter craft when you first start out. With medical rooms, starter kit, survival kits. I'd recommend this, but there are other ways to get stuff. Here's your spawn distance when spawning with new players. I would recommend turning this down to like 1,000 if you want to have your friends be joining you in your private world. But if you're trying to actually have like all your friends and you separated, you want to turn this up really high. But I tend to turn this down like to 1,000 most of the time. You can disable the jetpack, enable air tightness. Pretty much, this is not needed if you have if you don't have the radiation settings on. You're pretty much fine without this if you have the radiation settings off. So, don't worry about that mostly. Spawn with tools. This one, I'm going to say this. You want this on. You want this on. You do not want this off. That is a very bad idea. If you spawn with no tools, you are pretty much screwed from the start. Because there is only one way to get tools other than that, and that's by salvaging ships. It's like kind of stupid to do. And then enable spacesuit respawn, meaning you could just spawn in your suit. Progression means this is pretty much a harder path. If you want to do this, yes or no. What this does is you can actually have progression. What it does is, let's say you're starting out new and you want to have a tougher time, but you also want to learn the game, learn what comes first. It's only going to let you place earlier blocks. But the more blocks you place, and the more different types of blocks you place, the more levels of that block you get, such as, I'll show you later, there's different levels of refineries and different levels of assemblers, and other things. There is food, and survival buffs, and reduced stats on respawn, but yeah, we'll get to those eventually. But that's if you're in survival. The more you survive with the survival buffs, the longer you survive, the more buffs you get, meaning the more health, more energy, and more everything you can get on your character. There is food. That's why I'd actually recommend the Apex Survival for the food if you want to do that. Otherwise, if you're not using the food, keep that off. It's not worth it. Okay, and NPCs. So, there are a lot. There are giant spiders. There are wolves. There are planetary encounters such as NPCs, crash sites, and all sorts of other things. NPC structures, crash sites. There are no actual engineers you will run out into. You'll just run into AI-controlled ships. You will never actually run into a person that looks like you unless if they are already dead or just one of your friends or another player exactly. So you will never run into an actual other engineer. Remember that. There are cargo ships. There is an NPC limit. So you can actually have a large amount or a small amount. Just keep it at this, I'd recommend. It'll prevent certain things. Drones. Drones, if you're a new starter, turn this off. You do not want to have to deal with the drones. What it does is it allows for the enemies that you're fighting to just constantly produce drone, 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 drone. It's like a constant reinforcement. They will constantly respawn and attack you. You cannot get rid of them without destroying the actual ship or taking it over and hijacking it. I'll put wolves on. Global encounter. Cap. Pretty much just global visibility for encounters. It's you'll see what it is. I'll show you soon. Random encounter, you can actually have a normal density. If you want, it's actually a little more fun to have it on higher density, so you can run into more. I'm turning it on. I'm keeping it on higher density so I can actually show you a few things. Enable aim assist if you're new. Put this on. If you're new, turn this thing off. This is allow friendly rocket damage. So in case if you shoot your own ship with a rocket, it's going to damage it. I'd recommend turning that off. Destructible blocks. Allows blocks to be destroyed. If disabled, no blocks will take damage from any source. Meaning pretty much you can constantly barrage and barrage and barrage. Nothing can damage. Keep that on. Oh, it's no fun anymore. It's like, as Frieza said, what's the use of being immortal if you can't, so what's the use of taking no damage if, it's not fun, as Frieza said. Enable weapons. Weapons, keep them active. Miscellaneous broadcast offline distance. This is going to allow for your people. Okay, so this is going to pretty much have, if your friend is in a different faction or someone is in a different faction, you will be able to see them from up to 200 meters away if they have their signals going from a broadcast controller. But yeah, that's a little more complicated. I will not be getting into this because everything gets a little more complicated with the controllers and all that, so I'm not going to be doing that. Enable spectator camera. You can just literally have spectators instead of actually having stuff. You can enable copy paste. This I will show you all how to do and everything because you're going to want it in creative to be on. Thruster damage, when enabled, thruster flames. Okay, so the more damage your thruster takes, it'll start to deal damage to other blocks. Oh wait, no wait. Thruster flames, not damage. I mean, they will do damage to you and blocks. I will show y'all what happens. It is kind of funny, honestly. And then here's show player names, just showing player names. Enable tool shake. I wouldn't recommend this, but if you want to go for it, go for it. This is something that's too advanced. I'm not going to get into that. Allow convert to station. I'll show you how to do that. Enable, but I would recommend keeping this on so you can actually have an actual space station. Enable third person view. I'll show you how to go to third person. Allow voxel destruction, same thing. Don't mess with the voxel stuff. Not until y'all have learned it and learned the game enough. Allow remote block removal. Allows players to remotely remove blocks if they have built up to build up free PCU. So you can pretty much just say, I don't want this, get rid of it. From all the way across the other side of the galaxy. I'd recommend actually having that, so your blocks, I guess you just got some scrap floating around, you can just delete it. Enable scrap drops. I would actually recommend enabling this if you're new, but if you've been playing for long enough, don't enable it. What it does is pretty much it drops scrap metal, which you can pick up to, smelt down into materials. And then here's experimental settings. You can go into hardcore mode. Allow subgrid damage. Reset ownership. Pretty much everyone just doesn't get their ships. They have to reclaim it. Don't do that. Enable unsafe piston impulses. Don't do that. You're gonna break everything if you're trying to use a piston. I'm not gonna show you how to use pistons and turns and gears and stuff like that. But I will be showing you how to dock and stuff like that. Share universal tensor option. I'm not actually. Oh right, just speed and stuff like that. And then we got super gridding. It's an exploit. Able to connect large grids and small grids together in unsupported ways. So pretty much they don't want you to do this, but they're allowing it still. But you can turn that on and off. Don't mess with it though. You'll be fine without it. So I'm going to show you everything I can. Okay, starting now. Okay. So due to the fact that I'm going to be showing you how to build in space first, we're going to start out in the space suit. Oh no, it put me out here. Oh, dang it. Oh, that's not getting out of atmosphere. Okay. Okay, well then. We are just going to leave the atmosphere. In order to do that, because this is a very weak atmosphere, you could probably just go up continuously with your jetpack and creative. So yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, the whole world though is pretty much customizable, kind of. So you could literally just start digging around. But I'm just trying to get above the atmosphere. You can see there. This is actually a pretty good light. Look at this. This is looking nice. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of the atmosphere, and that ship that's down there will not help. As you can see, I'm actually getting forces pushed back onto me. So whenever you're moving in your suit, you normally go 110 kilometers a second. You know, 110 meters a second. Once I get into space, that's when I'll start showing all the controls and everything. It's gonna take me a minute though, but as you can see, this is an absolute massive world. It will take a while to travel through. There's also Earth over there too. But you can literally grab a drill and drill all the way through the world. You can do that. You can just literally just drill through a planet. Now, I'm going to show you guys a few different things once I can. Now, funny thing is, if you want to know if you're actually out of the atmosphere or not, no, I am not. So you can just go for a while. It'll take a while. So that's good, bot. They will constantly tell you things you'll need to know. As you can see, it's going to take me a minute. I think this atmosphere is around 20 kilometers high. As you can see, I seem to be getting a bit faster. Try not to go in orbit. Hold on. I'm trying to go just straight up. Yep, I'm getting out of orbit. I'm getting out of atmosphere slowly. I'm starting to speed up. Also, I'm going to show you some no-nos. Some big, big no-nos. Things you do not want to do because you might end up getting yourself killed. You might end up destroying your own stuff. And you just might end up making the wrong people mad in-game. Almost out of atmosphere. How high am I? Real high. Look at that mountain. Seems like it's around 30 kilometers. So, I'm gonna teach you guys another thing. The reason why you are starting out, the reason why I would actually recommend you always start out in space is so that you can actually get yourself equipped and ready to go to land on a planet. If you start out on the planet immediately, you're not going to know what's going on. You're not going to know where you are. You don't know where the resources are that you need to get out of there. At least when you're in space, you can find the resources on asteroids. So just a little tip there. You can find the resources you need on asteroids. I'll show you how to get the resources and everything as soon as I get out of this dang atmosphere. I'll test as soon as I reach 10 meters a second, but 110 meters a second. I think I'm basically on the edge, though. Going as straight up as possible. What? Yeah, I'll show you what those are later. Just a warning, if you're a new player, if it's red, stay away. Also, see that thing called an unidentified signal? Early on, under no circumstances should you approach those. I will show you all why as soon as I can, but under no circumstances whatsoever should you approach those when you are just starting. First off, they're only there for 2 hours, so even if you get there, you might be out of time, because you don't have a jump drive in the beginning. Beninging. Might actually just be 40 kilometers fully. But you don't want to mess with them. Unidentified signals are usually, it's a nearly 100% chance of you running into an enemy faction called the Factorum. Basically 100% chance of you getting prototech stuff, so some of the better stuff. I'll show you what those are later. But you got around a 5%, no, you got around a 2% survival rate there. Wouldn't do it. No matter how good the loot is in the beginning, your job is to survive. Not to go mess with people who have greater tech than you. Okay, time to test if we're in atmosphere anymore. Boom! We're not in atmosphere. Good. I'm gonna go a bit further out just to make sure. I'm gonna go to those asteroids over there somewhere. I'll show y'all how to do what I just did, considering I'm sure some of y'all have probably gotten stuck on that menu before, not able to put away a block. Yes, I couldn't figure it out in the beginning, so I just sat in a seat and unsat. So I guess now's as good of a time as ever to start teaching all the controls. I'll show you what a distress signal is later too. Okay. Controls for the game. These are for PlayStation mostly. I guess you could follow these if you're using controller on Xbox or PC. I'll be saying the controller buttons so y'all can learn them while I'm using them. As usual, the looking around, up, down, left, right, that's the standard R3, or also known as right joystick. Moving is standard left joystick. Just move it around as usual. I don't even know if you can invert it, so you should be fine. You're not inverted in the beginning, from what I can remember. Next, you've got tools. The D-pad, for those who don't know what a D-pad is yet, are those little buttons that you have on the right side of your controller. The left side of your controller. Up, down, left, right, and yeah. Up, down, left, right, all those buttons. So those are actually how you pull out your tools and weapons or whatnots you got. So when you first start out, it's actually going to pretty much be the same load up. You're going to have no gun. So it's going to be, when you first start out, if you're starting out with tools, like I said, I recommend you would, even if you are an expert at this game. Start out with tools. Press left for the saw, up for the drill, and right for the welder. These three things are going to be your best friends, not the guns. Trust me, you're barely going to use your actual gun. Rocket launcher, maybe. Actual gun, most likely not. Yeah, I'm actually going to go to those asteroids over there for a reason. So, I'm actually going to show y'all something. So y'all can turn off y'all's thrusters. Okay. Actually, L1 menu. L1, you'll have this, contracts. We have that is the HUD, so that is, okay, up is contracts. Right is the HUD, so you can toggle that off. Down is the chat. To back out, just press circle or back. And then left is your progression. But I'm not going to be using this because I don't need progression. I'm going to be using progression here. Then R1, third person. So you can go third person. Then we've got removing the visor and putting it back on. I would recommend keeping the visor on when you're in space, so that you don't, die from suffocation. No breathing. That kind of sucks. And then this is colors. So when you press down, it's colors. And to get out of this, press R3 and then R1. That's how you get out of those stuff. That's how you get out of it. It's the best way I figured out. Now, this last button, right? Flashlight. Now you can't really see it because nothing really for me to shine on here. That's where I'm headed. Now, as we're heading, I'm going to start moving in this direction. And if you hold L1 and press triangle, you're turning off dampeners. This works for ships and your character. What that does is it just sends you flying in one direction. You've got no brakes, no nothing. Your thrusters ain't going to be working with you. And if you use your dampeners and you just want to just kind of glide around, you can also just move around and press triangle. It just disables your thrusters entirely. The only thing is you can't really look around as much. So I'd recommend just disabling your dampeners. Alright, now we're at the asteroid field. Now, the reason why I brought us here... Okay, I'm going to go back to first person because being in third person is somewhat annoying when you're trying to look for certain things. So, you will see these weird things right here on these. They look like tumors. Tumorous growths. And yes, they kind of are for us, with what we need is from them. So when you get close with the drill, it'll tell you what it is. We got, ooh, ice. That's actually perfect. I will show you what to do with this. But when you hold, okay, do not hold L2 to drill. It's to mine. If you're trying to get resources, L2 is not going to do that. You just go, it's a burrow. Okay, now I got in and I have no resources, not even in my inventory. But if I hold R2 or right trigger, I guess you could say, and do this, make sure to spam the pickup button, which would be square. Make sure to spam it. You'll get ice. Ice is very important. You'll see why eventually. You can also... Oh, another fun fact. You can just straight up build on an asteroid. You can set up an asteroid as a mining facility. It's actually pretty good. Look, it's silicone. That's what this is. Alright. I'm also just gonna get me some standard stone real quick to show you another thing. Okay, so real quick, press the touchpad, or the big pad in the middle of your controller, to pull up your inventory, your control panel, production, info, factions. Press R2 to scroll through these. Press R2 to scroll through this, and your GPS. You are gonna probably want your own faction. So I'm gonna show you how to make a faction. Leave. So you can create a new faction by just typing in the tag. I don't know, YTS, and I'm gonna put Yidis. Yidis Shipyards. There we go. You can change the logo by pressing triangle. Plenty of logos, plenty of colors, everything you would want. Yeah, I'm just gonna choose that, and boom. Okay, Yidis now exists. First colony. Hold on. There. Now we're at peace with them. So these, only the owner of the server can mess with these. You cannot mess with these buttons here, but you can completely erase a faction by kicking the founder out. In case of, like, it's a glitched faction or something like that's going on. But you cannot. This will not work. Space pirates. The bad factions you'll find. How do it's weird like this. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Propose peace. Oh, you actually can become peaceful with space pirates. Oh well, now you know. You can probably do that with every faction then. Except everyone. I can add myself probably. But this is my shipyard now. I'll show you everything you'll need to know about it. Okay. Oh, back to this. Remember, once again, press down on your touchpad. You can also see your info, such as blocks you've created, so you can actually see what you've got already. Your vehicles and everything. I don't have anything. It just shows I have stuff. And also your warheads. It'll show sensor mass, show gravity range and everything. Show AI functions. Show antennas for friendlies. Show antenna distance for enemies. Show distance for owned antennas. Show grid pivot. Each point of the grid, so like every corner. So comms, this is actually going to show you who is in your server, who has been in your server and either has left it or is still there. And it'll also just show you the global chat history. You're the only one able to access that, I think. And then you got the GPS. So you can actually completely remove something. To do that, you press triangle and it's gone. It's gone. But let's say you want to know a specific place. You want this place as your own. All you gotta do is press square right where you are, and there it is. It's right there. That is your current position. And you can rename it. Here, I'll put it as training grounds. Here. Training grounds. There you go. It'll show you your coordinates. It'll show everything. It'll show if it's always visible or not. You know, what you need. There's a lot more, as you can see down there. A lot more buttons. You can delete again, select specific ones. But you can also get some from clipboards, such as if you want to have a specific place in mind that you want to go to, but you're nowhere near there, but you know that that place exists. You can mark it there too. Okay. So, if you press down on R3, you'll see all of these. And then you've got press R2, you'll see heavy armor. R2 again, you'll see structures 1, so this is like decorational stuff. Structures 2, doors, and some decorational stuff. Structure 3, so you've got like catwalks and grates and railings and ladders. Then you got decorations 1. So this is, as it is, decorations. That's as simple as that. Then you've got decorations 2, lab equipment. Pretty much, you gotta get pretty much anything from these out of the, you pretty much gotta get all of these out of the, packs for decoration blocks. You can see I don't even have some. Here's just some extra decorations, like some plushies, dead engineer, and anniversary statue. Then you've got controls. So this is where you'll find like your cockpits, your AI controls, remote controller, passenger seats. You're gonna want a bunch of these on your ship, trust me. Bridge helms, you know, this stuff. Then we've got power, which is like batteries, hydrogen generators, small reactors, large reactors, wind turbines, and solar panels. Then we've got movement. These are all of the engines that you'll have. All the thrusters that you'll have. We got hydrogen, atmospheric, and ion. Then we've got wheels. You got wheels with suspensions, and you just got straight up wheels. I don't know why. Oh, you can also just have a straight up suspension as well. Then we've got production and medical, such as refineries, assemblers, Speed modules. So this is actually going to be able to speed up and slow down your ship's modules. It will use a lot of power, though, I'm pretty sure. We got O2 and H2 generators. I'll show you how to use those later. We've got survival kits, which are used to respawn. We have medical rooms, which are used for medical purposes. Then we've got cryo chambers, which are used, well, you want to use these to sleep in whenever you log offline. And you got food production, which I'll teach you all about. This is a little complicated, but I'll teach y'all it still. Also, another thing, forgot to say this. So obviously you see me turning left, right. I'm sure y'all want to know how y'all can just straight up go upside down without just going like that and then turning around. Well, it's simple. Hold L1 and turn. This works with ships and everything else. Hold L1 and then just use your right stick, your looking around stick, and do this. It looks funny in third person. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay. We got logistics next, which you will actually see me coming to this tab. This is like some storage boxes. So you got storage, conveyor junctions. I'll show you all how to use those. They're very important. Those are very important. Then we got logistics 2. So we got connectors. So you can connect your ships, collectors, oxygen tanks, oxygen farms, air vents, and refill stations. Very important as well. Grinders and welders both in this one selection. I'll show you how to do that. Projectors are a little more complicated. I'll show you how to do that later too. Then we got cameras. Then we got interior lights. Then we got a spotlight. Then we got a heat vent. And then we got sound blocks. All of these. And utility. You're going to want a lot of lights. You're going to want a lot, trust me. Then we got utility 2, which has an ore detector, a beacon, antenna, broadcast controller, safe zone, and a store. The store allows you to basically buy things from other players, or the bots sometimes, AI, with your in-game credits, which you do get from just kind of stealing and stuff like that. It's funny. By the way, this right here, don't put this on your ships. You want to probably have one on your space station, but don't put it on your ships. This beacon, the beacons allow for pretty much someone to faster than light travel directly to that spot. Don't put these on your ships. I understand putting them on a space station, but do not put them on your ships. You do this and your ship is screwed. Because that means someone could just jump right next to you with a whole fleet. Then we've got weapons, which is one of my favorite things to add on to a ship. A lot of people actually do weapons wrong, though, in creative. I'll show you how to do them right. There are a lot of wrong ways to do them, and yeah. There's warheads. You can only have 25 warheads in total. Custom turret controllers. So this is like... Honestly, I don't know what these do. There's better ways to control turrets. Doesn't really do anything. And then automations, this is things that you would want to put, like button panels, test dummies, sensors, programmable blocks, timer blocks. Yeah, just this stuff. Screens and symbols, some more decorational blocks, but you can actually put the name of your ship on the outside, or your name on the outside. Or just put letters and numbers above the rooms and stuff like that. Then we got mechanical. This stuff I am not going to be teaching all about. This stuff just gets complicated. But you're going to want landing gear. I'll show you how to put on landing gear on ships. Do not worry. That's the only thing in mechanical you'll actually want to focus on. We got windows next. The only way to see outside. So you just want to go in third person all the time. Windows 2. More windows. Some are graded. Some are like half windows, and some are just like bays and stuff like that. High tech. This stuff. This is a whole different line of stuff. Artificial mass. You can make an entire area just to react to gravity. Gravity generator, just your ships and space stations to react with gravity. I did some incredible things with the gravity generator. I'll show you that eventually. And then jump drives, that's another thing I'm going to show you how to use later. And then this thing right here, these items, y'all will probably not be able to have one for a long while. But I'll still show you how to use them. And we've got your recent blocks, pretty much things that you pressed on in the past minute or so. Which you can actually go really far away from that, and then just press triangle if you want to go see something. And boom, you're back here. Alright, so that's that. That's how you access your building tool, your building.
Meteor storm inbound.
This. Y'all are about to see y'all's first meteor storm if y'all are brand new. Where is it? Since I'm not in a ship, I should be fine. And also, I'm in trade. You're coming from that way. Look at that. You want to have turrets on everything just because of the meteor storms? Because they can get quite violent. Looks like that was a small one. They usually aren't that big anyways. So next I'm going to show y'all how to actually build. So first off, to actually just fully build just one block, press R1 on it if you're on PlayStation. I don't know how to do this on console, actually on Xbox or PC, so whatever, I guess you call it, bumper. That was right, bumper, apparently. And then to place, just press R2. That's simple. Nothing to it. It's not confusing yet. I hope not. That shouldn't be that confusing. It's probably a very confusing video already. And we're just getting started. And it's already an hour long. My god. This video is going for an hour and we just started. So you're going to want to just start placing blocks. Don't place them randomly. Don't just go like this. You don't know what you're doing. Do not do that. You want to build in precise movements. Because if you do it wrong, then, well, you're doing it wrong. You're screwing yourself over. Also, this is for creative. I'm showing y'all how to build a perfect creative vessel. No mess up. This is going to be like, hey, I'm new to the game. I just want to get my feet wet into building. So you go into light armor. You pick a block. You gotta do this. Pick a block. Now, if you want to have perfect symmetry, I will show y'all how. Go here. Wait, wrong button. Okay, so to access this, remember, this is L2. This is R2. R2 is something you're going to probably want. So here is actually where you can toggle multi-block building. I'm on line right now, so line does this. That's what line does. I prefer line. You can also just delete entire rows as well. Next, you've got, back to this. Now, this is where things get a little more complicated. Symmetry mode. Since you're in creative, I'd recommend turning this on so you don't get kind of mad at yourself. You want to enter symmetry mode. Now look at the block. Now, if you want to have it perfectly cut down the center, this is it. This is what you want. I recommend it too, so it doesn't get confusing. But you can move it around by pressing down on the D-pad. But pressing it too much does send you back to the block. So back to symmetry mode you go. And to place it down, though, it is fairly simple. Right on the D-pad. Now it's placed. Okay, and now to get out of symmetry mode, it's very simple. Just press up on the D-pad, and boom. Pretty simple. Now, also, I'm going to show you how to move blocks closer and further. This is how to rotate. Left and right on D-pad to rotate. This is so you can... honestly, I don't know what the down button actually does. Oh, right, never mind. Right, that's so you can turn insert in different directions. See, look. That's what I meant to do. Okay, here, look, so you can see it differently. Alright, sorry, I'm a little tired. As you can see, we can turn it now that way. So pressing down on the D-pad allows you to turn the block in different directions with no issues. Now in symmetry mode, you can also place something on this side and it'll place it on the other. That's why you want to have symmetry mode. Just give me a second, I'm going to remove that block. I'm trying to have symmetry here, and you'll see why soon. Oh, press up on the D-pad to change your blocks, by the way. So if you are doing this alone, you want to press up on the D-pad to change your blocks. Well, either way, you're doing it alone or with multiplayer. But it'll change the block type, so you can actually just kind of do that, so you can actually change it. Like, let's say you want to have a corner here or a slope right here. You press up on D-pad and you can put it here. This would be corner. This would be another weird type of corner. You know, chunkier corners. This would be another corner. A lot of corners. There's another corner. And here's just your straight block. I also would not recommend having any how do I put this? So I'd also recommend not having any extra, let me think. Sorry. I'd also recommend not having someone work on the shell with you. So, if you are playing by yourself, it's actually somewhat easier to build a ship by yourself than with another person. But also, it's also easier to build a ship with a person than against a person if you're doing different jobs. Such as me and my friend. My friend was the person building the shell. Meanwhile, I was the one building all the pipes and the inner workings that were required to run the ship. It worked out pretty well for both of us. The ship is still under construction, but it looks pretty good. So then you want to place blocks. So by the way, it will not duplicate blocks in the middle. So do not worry. Do not worry. You will be fine. There. Symmetry, not yet. Perfect. Just the way you should be. Oh, by the way, we are going to a structure, and if you want to land on it, You'll hear that sound when you're ready to land. And if you're in third person, you'll visibly see it. See how it's orange? That means you're ready to stick. Press triangle, and it'll be green. That means you're magnetized. You can do that too. It's funny. And then disable. Just press triangle again, and boom, you're back up. Okay. Okay, so next I'm going to show you all how to do standard power. So pretty much what you want to go is you want to go to the power. There's a lot of options here. You can either go with hydrogen, solar, battery, small reactor, or wind. I'd recommend only using wind for the actual planets because that doesn't work in space. But here, the battery, boom. Because you're in creative, this is a creative ship what I'm doing here to show y'all what y'all need. So this is specifically just for creative here. Then you would want to go to movement. And you need a gyroscope or two. These are very important. Those are so you can turn and look around. Also, I'm sure you're going to notice these little pads right here. These are programmable things. You can actually tap, okay, so let's say I want to have these two batteries be connected to one thing. So you tap a battery, so you tap the one battery you want, and you want the other battery in the same group. So you hold R1 and tap that battery, and now they are both connected as one, and then you can name the block group battery. And now, from this one singular block group, no matter where you look, it's in there as battery. So you can just turn it on and off. Turn both of them on and off at the same time. Toggle them on the grid at the same time. You know, certain things. You can do that with everything in this game. Except for the standard floor blocks and just standard blocks like this. Anything with a control panel attached, you can do that too. Okay. So, solar panels, I'd actually also recommend having solar panels if you have standard batteries. Just to help you get power. But sometimes they might be too big. But we have next our ion thrusters. So we go to movement. Movement 1 specifically. Ion thrusters. Now these are pretty big. That doesn't match the ship at all. Look at how big these things are. Up on the D-pad. Changes. Up again. Changes. Up again. Changes. Up again. Changes. Up again. Changes. Up again, and it changes again. I'm going to use these standard ion thrusters you get for this, so y'all can just see what it would feel like to be on. Place that there. Now, ion just requires energy. It does not require any other source of power, just electricity. That's why this is the perfect creative ship. You are in creative. You will not take any damage. You will not die. We got put this up here. Put that down there, and boom. Perfect ship for someone who's in creative. I'm not joking. This is it. And now, almost perfect. Then you have see. Then you have these. If your ship is pretty big, I'd recommend going with a control seat or something, so a command post. And you can put on this giant computer, you can put on this tiny computer, put on this, that's not a computer, it's just an actual, like, joystick. Here's a helm that's floating up, so you have to have a ceiling for this one. Here's another one. And here's the control seat, which is the standard one you get. I recommend using that. Okay, now for ship controls, press square, go into third person, it's the same way, and now like you can just wee, and there you have it. That's how you build a standard little ship. Next, I'm going to teach you guys a bit about weapons. So, weapons get a bit more confusing. You need more room. So, what do you need to do? We need more room. Gotta make sacrifices. Easy living, goodbye. You're no longer going to be living easy. Especially if you're using this ship in survival. So we gotta increase its size a bit. Not mean to do that. Oh, by the way, I'm going to show y'all something. So I'm going to place a block, then put a line of blocks. Another line down here. And another one down here. There's a reason for why I'm doing this. 1. Do not forget to do not forget to stop moving before you place blocks. Otherwise this will happen. Not fun for your friends. Oh, that's my actual cube. Your friends ain't gonna be your friends after that. Remember to always clean up your messes. Yeah, back to the little platform. So you're gonna need more room. You gotta have weapons, and you know, you want to actually be able to defend yourself. So you fill this in completely. You got your ship. Basic needs of that. So I am going to show you the wrong way to build a weapon. Okay. I'll go ahead and place a very expensive artillery turret, just to make it make a little more sense. So we got this artillery turret right here, right? How are we gonna reload it? There's no access panel back here. You need to pretty much get right next to it, and it's only a chance it will let you open it. Oh, there it is. Very small chance. In order to fix that, this is how you actually build a turret. First, let's get rid of this thing. Second, let's go to something a little easier we can see through. Next, you want to go get a standard block. So you want to build a turret. Let's say you want to build one right here. Make a hole, and then let's say you want to build one right here. Make another hole. Put 2 spaces in between. Let them have some breathing room. Then you go into here, grab your turret, And then, oh right, not your turret. Then you go all the way to logistics, which logistics is kind of far in, and grab your small cargo container. 1, 2, there's one on each side, don't worry. Now, why put small cargo containers, you may ask? Well, it's obvious once you get to understand it. You can reload them from the inside. Really simple there. A lot of people forget to do that. I didn't know that you had to do that. So, a bunch of my older designs require a lot of updates, so they actually do have that. The possibility of reloading. You can actually just shove as much ammo as you want in here as well, and it'll be done. Actually, and it'll transfer it directly into its inventory when it's ready to reload. Next. Hold on, let me stretch. Next. So now, let's place your batteries back. But this time, look, you got walls. Placing a battery isn't the best idea. You need more room. So, you choose, let's expand the ship a bit more. So you're going to expand the ship a tad bit more. So, you can place your battery right here. Now, you can also put your gyroscope there now, too. Gyroscope right here. Now, time for you to make another mistake. You decide, I am going to forget this happens. So you place a thruster right there. Place a thruster right there. Place a thruster right there. All the way around. You need one going up. You need them to be going up and down, by the way. You need them to be going forwards and backwards as well. And we'll place one down here as well. Okay. So this is your new ship design. A little more robust. But who cares? You're good, right? Now go back here. Put down your control. Good. Now you're gonna go ahead and start moving. To move, it's just as simple as moving in your suit. And then this happens. Your engines are stopping. Huh. I guess I didn't do the thing I wanted to do. I didn't do the thing I wanted you to do. Oh no, it did. Okay. So it doesn't really do a lot to the turrets. But as you can see here, this turret's at 99%. The more the thruster hits that, the worse it gets. So now, you gotta come up with a new design. How you may do that, you may ask? Well, it's pretty simple here. Boom. Oh. Well, let me get rid of this one too. Boom. Boom. Done. New ship design. So that was a no-no. Do not do that. You will damage your ship. Now, completely safe to move back and forth. Down, up. You can also look around. Alright, so Oh yeah, right. You can, when you have magnetic boots, literally nothing's your limit to walk. This is a good ship though. Now, let's say you want to add a bit of protection. Your ship's nice, but whenever you go into combat, you just keep getting blasted out of the sea. So, what you want to do here... Now, this is actually a tip I learned from a friend. Somewhat. We kind of taught it to each other. You want to grab the control seat and move it back a little ways. Wait, that's not the way it's supposed to go. Whoops. We're like right there. Okay, some flat windows. Boom. 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 Now look. Can't hit you through that until they shoot the glass out. Then, what are you gonna do? Well, if you decide to get a specific pack, put grates in front of it, you can pretty much do anything you want. You don't even need to have a window. You can literally just be in a giant cube. Windows are an option in this game because of third person. They are completely optional. Unless if you decide to have no third person. Alright. Now, I wanted to keep streaming, but I'm getting tired. Like, really tired. I'm having trouble staying awake right now. Sorry, guys. But this is how you build a pretty much perfect creation for creative ships. You got some weapons, you got thrusters, you should be pretty much fine. I'll show you how to do more actually coding blocks on a later time. But I am too tired right now to keep going, and I will see y'all another time. Thank you for spending time with me, guys. Oh. Save here. Oh, just pause. You always want to save, or you can save as. Saving as allows you to name the world. So I'm going to do this as training world. And then just exit to main menu. You're all set. It'll be there tomorrow. And then you can just press continue game. I'll show you how to do that later. I'll show you how to do that tomorrow, considering we're continuing tomorrow. So, thank you for sticking around for an hour and a half, everyone. I'm too tired to keep going with this. It requires too much focus from me right now. Later.